Hey there, welcome back to Hollywood Buzzing, where today we're diving into a movement that has the entire WNBA talking and potentially rewriting the coaching script in Indiana. We're talking about none other than Cheryl Miller, a basketball legend, a pioneer, and someone who fans are now loudly and confidently calling to become the next head coach of the IndianaFever. This isn't just a trending moment. This is a legitimate, fan-fueled movement that's shaking up the WNBA conversation. The calls for Cheryl Miller to coach CaitlinClark and the Fever have gone from hopeful whispers to full-blown demand, and honestly, it makes too much sense to ignore. So let's break this down, because if this actually happens, it could shift the trajectory of the entire league. First off, Cheryl Miller isn't just a name you throw into the coaching hat for PR. This is someone who redefined what women's basketball could look like. She's not just a former star, she's basketball royalty. She averaged 32 points a game in high school and once dropped 105 points in a single game. Let that sink in. 105 points. That's not myth. That's not an exaggeration. That's Cheryl Miller being Cheryl Miller. She's been where CaitlinClark is now, dealing with pressure, media narratives, expectations, and the constant scrutiny that comes with being the most talked about player in the sport. And when Miller coached Clark during the recent All-Star game, the chemistry was undeniable. She saw Clark's basketball IQ in action and immediately recognized a kindred spirit. Someone who could see the floor in 3 dimensions, who made others better, and who had the mental sharpness to match her physical skills. Miller even admitted that coaching Clark gave her the bug again, that competitive spark that says, hey, maybe it's time to step back into this. That's the kind of fire you want leading your franchise. And the timing? Perfect. The Fever are in flux. There are whispers of behind-the-scenes issues, recent absences in leadership, and a general sense among fans that the current coaching situation isn't doing enough to unlock CaitlinClark's full potential. Fans aren't just speculating. They're analyzing, they're organizing, and they're demanding something that aligns with what they see on the court. A transcendent talent who needs a coach who gets it. Cheryl Miller wouldn't have to learn Caitlin's game. She already knows it. She wouldn't need to test a system. She's lived it. Miller knows what it's like to be the focal point of every opponent's game plan, the lightning rod for media takes, and the leader who sets the tone for a franchise. That's not something you can teach, and it's not something most current WNBA coaches have experienced firsthand. When she walked into that all-star locker room, you could see how quickly the players responded. The vibe shifted, the energy changed, and Clark played like she'd been given permission to just be great. That's coaching. It's not just about play calling. It's about connection, trust, and empowerment. And Miller gets it. Let's talk style. Cheryl Miller's brand of basketball is aggressive, fast-paced, and high-pressure. She believes in pushing the tempo, creating chaos on defense, and playing to her players' natural strengths. That fits Clark's game like a glove. She loves to run. She thrives in transition. And she plays best when she's allowed to be instinctive and creative. Under Miller, Clark wouldn't be boxed into a rigid system. She'd be given the green light to be the leader, the scorer, the facilitator, and the heart of this team. And Miller? She knows how to handle the spotlight. She's been in media, she's done press, and she understands the importance of protecting her players from narratives that can hurt their mental game. That kind of leadership is invaluable. Players today aren't just athletes, they're brands, and Cheryl understands how to help them manage the balance between being a competitor and being a public figure. Add to that Miller's experience on the international stage, coaching against different styles and managing elite players in different systems, and you've got someone who brings a rare, global perspective to the WNBA sideline. She's not a one-trick pony. She's a thinker, a strategist, and a motivator. But what really makes this potential pairing powerful is the shared experience. Clark is going through things right now that very few people can relate to. She's been criticized for her confidence, dissected by media narratives, and misjudged by those who don't understand her fire. Sound familiar? Miller knows what it's like to be misunderstood, underestimated, and placed under a microscope. And that's why this could work better than anything else the Fever have tried in years. Fans aren't just hoping for change, they're demanding it. And not just any change, they want Cheryl. They're tired of seeing coaching decisions that don't align with their stars' strengths. They've watched their team miss the mark, pass on opportunities, and misuse talent. Now they see a chance to correct that. And when a fan base gets this united, a smart front office listens. This isn't noise, it's insight. These fans support the team year-round. They know the game, they know the patterns, and they're speaking up because they believe Cheryl Miller isn't just the right fit. She's the only fit. Around the league, coaches have to be watching this unfold and wondering what it could mean. If Miller gets hired and immediately unlocks Clark's full potential, what does that say about how other teams are using their stars? It raises the bar for coaching across the board. Are teams building around their talent, or are they forcing talent into uncomfortable molds? The WNBA is evolving, and fans want innovation, not stagnation. And this conversation, this Cheryl Miller movement, might be the catalyst for bigger changes league-wide. Imagine the statement it would make to have one of the most iconic players in women's basketball history come back, not just to coach, but to lead a new generation with purpose and understanding. Clark isn't just a franchise player. She's a once-in-a-generation talent. And Miller isn't just a potential coach. She's the blueprint for what Clark is trying to become. This isn't about resume bullet points. This is about vision, about alignment, and about finally building something around a star instead of trying to rein them in. And don't forget, Cheryl Miller has never been shy about calling out what isn't working. She'll hold the front office accountable. She'll stand up for her players. She'll demand excellence, but also provide the guidance and mentorship a young team like the Fever desperately needs. Her presence alone would change the locker room dynamic instantly. Every player would know they're in the hands of someone who has done it all. No one would question whether she belongs. And for Clark, it would be a coaching relationship built on mutual respect from day one. No awkward power struggles. No systems-first thinking. Just basketball brilliance meeting basketball brilliance. That's a rare formula. The stars are aligning, and the energy around this idea is gaining serious traction. Social media is buzzing. Fans are rallying, and even analysts are starting to admit this might be the smartest move the Fever could make. The demand is loud because the reasoning is sound. It's not about nostalgia. It's not about hype. It's about the very real possibility that this move could elevate the Fever from struggling to contending faster than anyone imagined. The narrative has shifted from what if to why not, and as far as Hollywood buzzing is concerned, the answer seems more obvious by the day. Cheryl Miller to Indiana isn't just a dream, it's a solution. A logical, inspiring, and game-changing solution that could bring out the best in CaitlinClark and everyone around her. And when that kind of clarity presents itself in sports, you don't overthink it, you act. The time is now, the fit is perfect, and the future is calling. So what do you think? Is Cheryl Miller the missing piece to unleash the full potential of this young Fever squad? Drop your thoughts, because this conversation is only getting louder. And if the Fever are listening, real change could be just around the corner.